Good day, my dear students, and welcome to Clara's Creation English Vocabulary and Grammar. Today, I'm going to teach more about English vocabulary and grammar. Here you can see a blackboard, and an elf has come to teach you. Welcome. Countable and uncountable nouns. A countable noun can be counted, an uncountable noun cannot be counted. Now, students, you definitely must have studied nouns. You know what is a noun? A noun is a naming word. We have learned noun gender, where we come to know the gender of the opposite person or object. We have learned noun numbers. And now under noun numbers, a little ahead we go. Countable noun that can be counted. You can see on the screen right in front of you some colorful flowers. You can count those flowers, right? You can see leaves and branches. That too can be counted. So a countable noun is something that you can count. Now look at this picture and just observe and list out the things that you can count. I can see deer, tree, leaves, branches, so on and so forth. Start making a list of all these things. And that's how exactly I said a countable noun can be counted. Here you can see a classroom situation. You can see school. Children are playing. Children are going to school. They're standing in a queue, sitting in a classroom. You can count the benches, you can count the chair, you can count the number of books, bag. All these things are countable. So make a list of all these countable nouns. And now here is a cup of tea. We can count the cup and the saucer, but what about tea? A tea is an uncountable noun. Here I have made a table for you of countable and uncountable nouns. And I want you all to read the lesson, The Gulliver's Travel, The Adventure of Gulliver Travel. From this lesson, students, I took first paragraph, Gulliver meets the Lilliputians. Read carefully this paragraph and make a list of countable nouns. And again, read properly and make a list of uncountable nouns. Now here you are going to state the definition of countable and uncountable noun if you've understood my explanation. Now write down countable and uncountable nouns, make two categories and divide your book into two columns. And from the lesson Gulliver's Travel, as I told you, make a list of countable and uncountable nouns. Students, very often when a teacher explains us a lesson, we are just listening to the story part of it. But have you tried to focus on the lesson while you're reading? And have you tried to search? As I told you, make a list of countable and uncountable nouns. Have you tried to look at the list of antonyms? How many antonyms can you get from this paragraph? Have you tried to look out at the list of homophones? We are just basically reading the lesson because teacher told us to read. We are not keeping our senses alert. And fifth standards are having a lesson called senses alert. If you keep your mind open, if you keep your eyes open, you can see so many antonyms here. You can see so many homophones. You can find it out from this passage. You can see countable and uncountable nouns. You can find out gender of the words. You know, when we used to go to school, our teachers would always ask us to keep a pencil in your hand or a pen in your hand. Underline a particular word, and then from there, our teachers would ask us to state antonyms or to state the noun gender, to give antonyms, not state but give antonyms, state noun gender, and that's how students we are involved in the lesson. So towards the end, what I expect you all to do is From this particular lesson, find out when Gulliver meets the Lilliputians, find out number of antonyms that you can. Find out number of homophones as much as you can. Countable and uncountable noun. Find out articles, read the textbook, and find out sentences from the text, within the text, that has got 5 articles. We are never aware of all these things. We just look at the story part of it. Even when you sit in a library, students, during a library period, when you're reading the storybook, you can find out articles, antonyms, and that's how you build up your grammar and vocabulary. That's how you can improve it. But we just look at the sentences that the teacher has written on the blackboard and we try to mug up those 5 sentences. And if the teacher has not asked those 5 sentences, we start saying the English paper was very tough. Teacher asked from outside. The questions have come from out and not from the book. Teachers has used some external source to set a paper. But if you are reading your library books, your textbooks, any subject textbooks, you'll find opposite words, you'll find gender, you'll find numbers, you'll find articles, you'll find homophones, antonyms, synonyms. This is not found only in English textbook, but in your every textbook. So I hope you've understood what basically I want to tell you. And try to read the lesson and find out and list out some countable and uncountable nouns for me. Thank you, students.